With the pace of modern technology, it's bound to happen to all of us at some point or another where we upgrade at exactly the wrong time. And when I did my video where I changed out my OLED TV in my media center here for this ASUS big format gaming display, 4K, 120 hertz, in between me filming it and me releasing the video, LG released a firmware update that took their 2019 models, both their C series and their B series, and added both G-Sync support and support for 4K resolution at up to 120 hertz over HDMI 2.1. And here's the kicker. For the same size, it's an even lower price.
Ridge Wallet is the sleek way to keep wallet bulge down with its compact frame and RFID blocking inner plates. Use offer code Linus to save 10% and get free worldwide shipping at the link below.
Oh, I cannot wait to open this. First though, I'm gonna walk you guys through what I'm replacing with it. So to be clear, there's nothing wrong with a BFGD. It's a great gaming experience, 4K up to 144 hertz actually, if you're willing to deal with some chroma subsampling, fringing around text. Movies look great thanks to its 384 zone local dimming, 1000 nit peak brightness, but when you're paying $5,000 for a display, it's not about is it really great? It's about, is it the best? And there have been some inconveniences that have kind of driven me nuts with this thing. Some of them are minor. So there is some halo effect around bright objects, but it's really not that noticeable unless you're moving a cursor around on the screen or you're looking at it off axis. There's a cooling fan in it that I can actually hear during quiet parts of a movie. That kind of ground my gears. The UI sucks, and the remote is even worse, not to mention that ASUS still hasn't addressed compatibility with Logitech's Harmony Universal remotes, so I can't tie it all into the rest of my setup and have everything start up with one button. And finally, is that because it uses DisplayPort to achieve its high refresh rates, there is no way to get high definition audio off of my PC. Because with HDMI, you would pass through your receiver, which would send it out to your speakers, and then that would go to your TV. But DisplayPort doesn't have an audio return channel, and you can't go through the receiver to it. It's like so they just kind of, I guess, just didn't think of it, I guess. So on paper anyway, this is the absolute ultimate. It's OLED, so you've got individual pixel dimming, no halos, infinite contrast, all that good stuff, because it can actually turn off every single pixel on the display. It's 4K, which is a great resolution for this size. It's huge. It's got built-in Google Assistant, and of course, for me, the big thing is that even from a gaming standpoint, it looks, at least on the surface, like basically zero compromise. 120 hertz 4K, that's a big deal. But more important than that is that it also boasts extremely low input lag thanks to a technique LG is using where they're using a line buffer rather than a frame buffer to boast input lag as low as 6.6 milliseconds. And then the cherry on top is that LG has implemented HDMI 2.1 on this thing, giving us enhanced audio return channel. Come on, baby, you got this. There we go. Auto low latency mode. So you plug in a device like an Xbox and it'll turn off any unnecessary processing, give you that nice low latency. And of course, variable refresh rate. This is the first TV outside of NVIDIA's own partner offerings, like their BFGDs, that is G-Sync compatible. And the coolest thing about it is that normally you'd have to get a G-Sync Ultimate display in order to have both G-Sync and HDR. Here, you've got a regular old G-Sync compatible display, but because it happens to have flippin' awesome HDR support, you get both. And there's no G-Sync module. Sweetheart, no. No. No means not hide. It means no. It means go. Now I just got to get this on here. And Yvonne went to a parent-teacher conference, so I'll be doing it myself. If I drop it, make sure you catch it on camera, all right?
All right.
All right.
Let's do this.
Okay. Okay, can I even get this on here? I don't even know. It's gonna be really close. Well, there's only one way to do this. The brute force way. Okay. You know, I think it is actually lighter than the other one. Okay. You know, people told me that you could have a TV that's too big for a space, and I never really bought it before. I think I'm converted. You think it's never too big? Never. That doesn't look ridiculous. Here we go. Oh, that's smooth. Hey, just like that. Oh, thank goodness. There it is, arc, yes. Well, it took a while, but we're hooked up now. Now all I need to see is 1440p, 120 hertz, G-Sync. Is it gonna work? I don't see a G-Sync option in here. That ain't a great sign. I also don't see 1440p. What is going on here? I just wanna play with that. So while our HDR game is installing, I actually grabbed, this is called a time sleuth. And what it is it's an input lag measurer. I've never actually used it before, but theoretically, all we gotta do is flip over to HDMI 4 and then pop this bad boy on here. So we've got a couple of interesting things to report here. Most of the movie viewing picture modes have around 100 milliseconds of input delay, whereas game mode, boom, we're down at around 32 milliseconds. Remember guys, that the time sleuth here is outputting a 60 hertz signal. So that is pretty darn good for that, considering that you're gonna have up to a 16 millisecond delay just from the delay of only drawing one frame every 16.66 milliseconds. Wait, did that just drop down to 12? Now LG said that they could achieve less than one frame with their line buffer instead of frame buffer, but that is less than 16 milliseconds. Here I was explaining it away. Dang! I mean, the rest of them are not particularly impressive. And what I was a little bit disappointed to find out is that even in something like, you know, an ISF expert mode, you can't just go into the additional settings and configure, I mean, instant game response is on, but that doesn't seem to actually decrease the input lag in this mode. So there you go. Well, our game's not done yet, but that's okay. I can work with that. Why don't we just fire up the Shield and have a look at some HDR movies then? Man, that is a gorgeous image. You know what though? This is the first time that I've been like, is 4K enough resolution? This is a big TV. Mind you, I'm standing like this close to it if I'm sitting at a more reasonable distance. Yeah, it's pretty sharp. Man, that looks good. I mean, the BFGD was good, but the sharpness that you get when there's no dimming zones, that's unreal. Like, you know, when the sun is glinting off of individual hairs, you know, it's different. Now, one compromise here is that in order to run at 120 hertz, we do have to run at 1440p until NVIDIA releases an HDMI 2.1 graphics card. But I'm gonna sit at a reasonable distance and see if that's a problem, even at 77 inches here. Honestly guys, input lag feels easily as good as a high-end gaming monitor. It managed to kick itself over into game mode automatically, which is pretty sweet. And when you're running around like this, the odds of noticing something like a slight reduction in resolution seems pretty slim, you know? What's up, bro? Oh, I missed. Wow, I suck, I'm so bad. How did I do that? Oh, thank goodness. That's more like it. Wow. That is outstanding. Really makes a difference to the way that the light looks when you've got these direct rays that bounce off the ground so bright like that. That is freaking awesome. You ever seen this look this good, Andy? And that's it. I've seen everything I need to see. This is my end game TV, and I'm having a hard time imagining what would be a huge upgrade over it at this time. When I got my first OLED, I was like, the picture's amazing. But this is not great for gaming. LG has fixed the input lag issues, and they cranked it to 120 hertz. But the craziest thing about today's video is not all of that. It's that unlike most of the time that I'm like, yeah, this one's the best, the pricing for this isn't even that outlandish. The 77-inch is the same price as BFGDs were at their launch a couple short months ago, and the 65-inch, which is the same size as a BFGD, is actually about the same price. And it's better in almost every way. It looks so good. Now, there are a couple of advantages for a BFGD. You can go to 120Hz 4K or even 144 today instead of waiting for an HDMI 2.1 graphics card. And it's got that full G-Sync range, whereas the window only goes from 40 to 60 or 40 to 120, depending on what refresh rate you're running at here. But personally, I would take those minor trade-offs any day of the week for a picture that looks like this.
Why hope for a great present when you can just buy what you want now? Drop.com wants to help you out with that. Grab something for yourself or that audiophile on your nice list with their deals of the decade. The Mass Drop Sennheiser PC37X gaming headset is now $90 instead of $120. The Mass Drop Sennheiser Openback HD 58X is $130 instead of $150. The Mr. Speaker Ether closed headphones are $750 instead of $900, and these deals won't last long, so check them out at the link in the video description.
So thanks for watching, guys. If you blew all your money on a TV like this and you want a cheap gaming monitor, we just did a roundup, so you guys can check that out at the link in the video description.